In the past few years, vampires have taken over the hearts of millions. With many movies and books based on vampires coming out today, it is no wonder why they have become more popular. But what if some of these fans go to the extreme to become the creatures of the night? They can try and repeat those violent histories. This is everything you need to know about vampires. If people today try to imitate vampires, what are some of these things that have made the people attempt such a thing? In order to explain, it is best to start from the beginning. The man who is the inspiration to Bram Stoker's Dracula. The man who is said to be one of the first vampires. The man who had killed many people. Vlad the Impaler. He was the ruler of Wallachia after his father and brother were brutally murdered. However, after 2 months, he was unable to consolidate his power and fled. In 7 years of exile, he gathered enough support to kill the leader and return to the kingdom. To avenge his father and brother, he threw an inauguration party. So after a full day of festivities, he ordered all 500 guests, their spouses, and their attendants impaled. This was a way to show everyone that he shouldn't be provoked. For punishments for anyone who did not follow the laws, he would impale them into a wooden stake. He would then drink their blood and dine with the other dead bodies. Finally, in 1476, he was killed by his own subjects. Another influence may have been from Countess Elizabeth Bathory. While her husband was away fighting in the war, she ruled the household. She tortured her servants and many young women on her free time. She used many methods, including throwing cold water on a woman and throwing her outside to freeze. As she aged, she got even more bitter. She hated her aging and would do anything to get her youth back. One day, one of her most trusted servants told her a way to get this back: to consume a virgin's blood. Elizabeth loved this idea. She would bathe and shower in virgin's blood, and the only thing she would drink is the blood itself. After a while, her servants brought her back peasants, so they would not be missed. In the matter of 1 year, Elizabeth Bathory killed over 600 women. In 1614, she was finally sentenced to life in prison, and in the same year, she was found dead in her cell. Bathory lived in Transylvania. However, she was not the first instance that this town has seen of vampires. This town is known for its history with vampires. They had many different myths, and to prevent any so-called vampires from coming back from the grave, they had dug up the bodies and stuck a stake through their heart. What also makes up the story of vampires? Bats. The legends of vampires turning into bats started when a group of European explorers had found a new discovery in 1526 in Central America. They found the vampire bat. They claimed them to fly like a bird but bite like a beast. This was after they were attacked in their sleep. And when this news got to Europe, more havoc had risen than before. The biggest impact on vampirism today is the story and cinema movies about vampires. In the past few years alone, movies and television shows about vampires have earned over $700 billion in revenue. Many more books and movies based around vampires have been coming out just for that reason alone. Many of these people take these stories and reenact them. This is simple role-playing, while others think of it as their actual life. Every day, these people get up and do many things just to make them seem like vampires. They put on gothic sort of clothes, contacts, and even sharpen up their teeth just to look like fangs. The most extreme thing these people can do is drink actual blood. And sometimes, some of these people even hunt their own victims. Some people believe these people live this lifestyle because they are using it as an escape from their other lifestyle that wasn't as good as they had hoped. Others call it insanity. Some of these people cannot help but to be a so-called vampire. These people are the ones with the vampire disease called phoropia. Symptoms of this disease include hypersensitivity to light, resulting in burning or blistering, hallucinations, or seizures. It can also include tissue damage and can make people's teeth appear larger and more prominent. This disease may have came from Transylvanian towns where inbreeding may have occurred. If the symptoms don't sound like vampire traits, there is the treatment: the drinking of blood. However, these people have an excuse to drink blood, while the others do not. As most people have realized by now, the others are sick. They are shunned from the real lives of others, defeating the purpose of becoming a vampire in actuality for a better life. If anything, if they take this lifestyle, it makes their life worse. Their friends only become the fake people that believe the same lie. These people can also obtain many diseases from the blood consumption. The main disease they can gain is HIV or AIDS. If the person that they had fed from had this disease, they will gain it just by drinking their blood. Overall, it is wrong and not possible for a real human being to become a vampire. Many people have tried and many still are, but they know deep down they are still a simple human being. There are almost too many influences today. However, this is more than likely a phase, and soon the vampire frenzy will die down, and this will be the true end of vampires. But will they really be gone?